Hello everyone, my name is Michael Rose, coming to you here from Patrick Mini in Schaumburg, Illinois. We're doing one of our model clinics. We're doing these monthly overviews of specific models in the lineup. Just going to go through the car, talk about it, and today I'm really excited to bring you this 2022 MINI Clubman S. It's a really nice car, really nice spec, a lot of cool options, so I'd love to talk about it. So starting up here with the front end of the car, we have this classic cute mini face. Everybody loves it, it's adorable. We have these full LED headlights. Since this is an S model, we also get this cool hood scoop, and that feeds some air into the engine and aid with cooling. And alongside this large grille here, and then these two air inlets down at the bottom. This gives it a nice aggressive look for the S model. Definitely very sporty focused, really, really cool car. If you want to come around to the side of the car. So this car has optional 17-inch wheels. These are finished in gloss black. And then coming down around the side of the car, we have the badging for both the S model here, and then all four down here. This is going to denote that this car is an all-wheel drive model, so great for the snow. Further down the side profile of the car, since this is a Countryman, it's a four-door car. This is sort of Mini's sort of a hatchback, practical wagon model. And so I'm just going to hop in the back seat here. Now, if you watched the M5 video yesterday, you know I'm about 6 foot, and I have plenty of headroom here. And I'll show you when we get in the car, but we also have this awesome panoramic sunroof, so everybody gets some light, and it's just a really nice spot to be back here. Climate controls as well, so definitely practical for the whole family if that's what you're looking for. Now moving around to the rear of the car, we have probably the Clubman's most iconic feature, and that's these sort of double barn doors here in the rear. These open electronically assisted, so you just have to push the button behind the handle. And once we're back here, it's just a ton of storage space, really, really practical. And on top of that, these seats all fold down, so you can really get a lot of large items here. This is an excellent alternative for someone who's maybe looking for an SUV, but doesn't necessarily want to sit so high up or drive something so truck-like. And coming around to the other side of the car, one thing I want to point out that's super awesome and specific to this particular car is this three-tone roof. We can see that it has a bit of a gradient to it, and it looks really, really, really nice with this enigmatic black paint, which is sort of a black in the dark, but blue in the sunlight type of color. Really, really neat here. I love how this car is spec'd out. So what I'd like to do now is take you into the interior of the car. We'll go over the window sticker, MSRP, and talk a little bit about that stuff. All right, folks, let's get her started up. Great. So you'll notice right away that this car is featuring a full digital display for your gauge cluster. So you have your speedometer, your fuel levels, and the tachometer, as well as any indicators for things like your brights, any warning lights. So that's a full screen behind the car, and that's paired with the infotainment screen that we see here. This is an 8.8-inch touchscreen. Really, really nice screen here. They've really sort of stepped up these mini screens and mini interiors in the last year or two, and it's really, really nice. Now, there's a lot of stuff that you might recognize if you're a prior BMW customer as far as layout and controls. We have a full safety features button here, and probably one of the coolest parts about the Minis is these awesome toggle switches that you see down here. These control things like your parking sensors, your automatic engine off for fuel economy, of course the iconic red ignition switch, traction control, and your driving modes here on the right side. And then, I don't know if you saw me adjusting it earlier, but we have these cool climate knobs, since this car has the optional dual zone automatic climate control. And as you can see, they're basically a screen, and they light up as you use them. And then they're kind of not illuminated when they're not in use. So it's a really clean look. Mini excels at interior design that kind of has that sort of retro future look. Really awesome. Now, this car, a little tough to see on camera, but it's finished with this awesome indigo blue leather. Really cool option. I love seeing fun color interiors, not just your normal brown or beige or black. So again, really enjoy how this particular car is spec'd out. Let's talk a little bit about the window sticker and some of the optional equipment on this car. So I've got that here, and the MSRP, $42,975. And this is an iconic trim level car. So this is sort of the higher end of the Mini trim levels. And you're going to get a lot of stuff like the dynamic dampers for sporty handling, power folding mirrors, that multi-tone roof we talked about earlier, a lot of the piano black exterior trims. So it's both an equipment package and then sort of an appearance package as well. So you get sort of that more aggressive sort of blacked out look. You also have the Mini Navigation Plus, so you get that nice display, and it's obviously all touchscreen. There's a heads-up display, which I don't know if you folks can see. Oh yeah, you can totally see it. So you got that heads-up display to display the speed limit, your miles per hour, as well as your navigational directions if you put them in using the Mini system. Now this car also has wireless Apple CarPlay, so all your connectivity with your iPhone and all your apps will be integrated into the car very seamlessly. And then this also has, you know, your space saver spare, which is actually a fairly rare option for these cars. I'm trying to think what else. You got your all-weather floor mats. Yeah, so this is a quite loaded up car, really nice, and a great example of this particular trim and spec. Now, once again, we have our gear selector down here, our controls for our infotainment, but again, this is also a touchscreen, so we can feel free to manipulate it just via the touch, and that'll be just fine for you. So it's a flexible car to use, quite intuitive, and again, just really has that fun interior design, that retro future that Mini is really known for. And again, you know, when I started working here, I'd never really driven Minis or known much about Minis, and they quickly became some of my favorite cars to have an excuse to go out and drive. The responsiveness of this car is awesome. It's got a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder that it shares with some of the other cars in the Mini lineup, coming in at 189 horsepower, and it definitely scoots pretty good. And being a Mini, being the size that it is, it definitely is very responsive and not the fastest, but definitely one of the most fun cars to drive. You have some awesome interior trim all on the doors here. It continues on the dash, maybe a little hard to see, but it's actually patterned gloss plastic, so it doesn't get quite as fingerprinty or dusty as some of the piano black stuff you might see. And then again, you know, this interior is just really ergonomic. You got paddle shifters. This particular car has the adaptive cruise control, so you can go ahead and set a follow distance. It'll follow the car in front of you. Excellent for highway trips. And then we have some multimedia controls here on the right side. Steering wheel is also trimmed in leather with really nice stitching. And it's kind of got this nice sporty shape with the sort of handholds here on the side. Really cool. Love Mini Coopers, love this car. Give you another pan around at the inside. Awesome stitching that you see here, sort of diamond pattern. Really cool. Mini interiors are really awesome. So I'm going to go back outside. So give the hood a pop. Another one of the coolest design features, in my opinion, of the Mini Coopers, and you may never see this as an owner, but I really like how the headlights stay in place when the hood is open. You got this clamshell style hood, and it's a really neat look when you get these headlights just sort of in place and the hood is open. You can kind of see everything exposed. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but these headlights are fully LED. They have these round daytime running lights in them that'll light up during the day. It gives the car a really sleek, modern look. Speaking a little bit more to the engine, again, it's a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, and the turbo technology is actually a twin-scroll turbo. So you'll notice very little turbo lag. It's got a very linear power band, and that kind of aids in the fun-to-drive factor of the car. Very fuel efficient too. So you're looking at about 25 to 27 miles around town, and then you'll be in the low to mid 30s on the highway for a combined of about 27, 28. So fuel efficient, practical. That's probably the best parts about the Countryman, or the Clubman rather. You get all the practicality and a lot of that zippy, mini, fun, quirky personality that you get with these cars. And I really am of the opinion that more new cars should have more personality, and that's what I really love about Mini. So we can get this closed up. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining us, folks. It's been my pleasure to do these model clinics for you every month. Really hope that you can join us next month. We're going to be filming on, let's see, September 16th, and we're going to be covering the Countryman. This is the sort of small SUV Mini, so it sits up a little higher, a little bit more practical. We've got a lot of room, but retains, again, that awesome Mini personality, that quirkiness, and the funness to drive. So once again, my name is Michael Rose, BMW Genius here at Patrick BMW and Mini in Schaumburg, Illinois, and we'll see you next month. Thank you so much for tuning in.